If you woke up this morning and the very first thought that crossed the threshold of your mind was a heavy sense of worry, you must stop everything you are doing and listen closely. If you opened your eyes and immediately began to mentally catalog your debts, your bills, your lack, or your fear, you have already begun to lose the game before you have even stepped onto the playing field. Most people live their entire lives in this reactive state, waking up not as masters of their destiny, but as slaves to their past. You might believe that your day begins when you arrive at work or when you have your first conversation, but this is a dangerous illusion. Your day, and by extension your financial reality, is determined in the silent, invisible moments immediately following your return from sleep. We are here to discuss a law that is as exact as the law of gravity and as unforgiving as electricity. This is the understanding that life is not a battle to be fought, but a game to be played. Yet it is a game that requires a specific knowledge of spiritual rules to win. When you wake up with a heavy heart, dreading the hours ahead, you are inadvertently setting a trap for yourself. You are broadcasting a frequency of failure that must, by law, return to you in the form of blocked opportunities and financial stagnation. This is not merely about positive thinking or trying to feel good. This is about the mechanics of creation. The universe does not speak English, French, or Spanish. It speaks frequency. And the frequency you emit during the first 33 minutes of your day is the master signal that overrides everything else you do. Consider the state of your mind when you first emerge from sleep. You are in a unique neurological and spiritual condition known as the hypnagogic state. In these precious moments, the rigid guard at the door of your conscious mind has not yet come on duty. The barrier between your thinking mind and your feeling soul is incredibly thin. This means that whatever idea, feeling, or fear you entertain during this window does not just sit on the surface of your thoughts, it sinks deep into the bedrock of your subconscious. It is like dropping a seed into fertile, wet soil. If you wake up and think about how much you hate your job or how terrified you are of the bank, you are planting seeds of misery in the most fertile soil of your potential. You are essentially commanding the universe to bring you more reasons to be miserable. The tragedy of modern life is that almost everyone wastes this sacred window of power. Watch what the average person does the moment their eyes open. They reach for their phone. They immediately scroll through social media, check emails, read the news, or look at text messages. By doing this, they are taking the most impressionable, powerful, creative state of their brain and handing it over to the chaos of the outside world. They are letting the world dictate how they feel before they have even decided who they are for the day. This is an act of spiritual surrender. When you check your phone first thing in the morning, you are telling the universe that the demands of other people, the stress of the economy, and the noise of society are more important than your own peace and prosperity. You are imprinting your sensitive subconscious mind with stress, comparison, and lack. You must understand that the subconscious mind is a faithful servant, but it has no sense of humor and no ability to judge. It simply accepts what you give it. If you give it fear in the morning, it will look for evidence of danger all day long. If you give it gratitude and abundance in the morning, it will scan your environment for opportunities and wealth. This is why you can work hard for 12 hours a day and still remain broke if your morning frequency is set to poverty. You are pedaling a bicycle with the brakes locked. The morning protocol we are establishing today is designed to unlock those brakes. It is about seizing the first 33 minutes of the day to perform a complete override of your old programming. Why 33 minutes? This is not a random number picked from thin air. In the architecture of the universe and spiritual numerology, 33 is the number of the master teacher. It represents the highest level of influential service and the union of divine creativity with earthly responsibility. Biologically, it takes approximately this amount of time for the brain to fully transition from the theta waves of deep relaxation to the beta waves of active alertness. This transition period is your window of opportunity. It is the time when you can rewrite the script of your life before the curtain rises. If you miss this window, the concrete of your mind hardens, and it becomes infinitely more difficult to change your vibration later in the day. Think of your mind as an orchestra. The morning is the time when the instruments are tuning up. If the violin is out of tune, it does not matter how skilled the musician is, the music will be dissonant. If you start your day out of tune with the frequency of wealth, no amount of hard work, networking, or strategy will produce harmony. You will find that deals fall through, expenses arise unexpectedly, and money seems to flee from you. This is because you are vibrating at the frequency of repulsion rather than attraction. The protocol you are about to learn is the tuning fork. It brings your entire being into resonance with the energy of abundance, so that when you step out into the world, you are not chasing money but attracting it naturally. We must also address the concept of non-resistance. Many people wake up and immediately start mentally fighting their problems. They lay in bed, wrestling with their anxieties, trying to figure out solutions with their tired, limited conscious minds. This is a mistake. Fighting a problem only feeds it with energy. What you resist persists. The morning is not the time to solve problems. It is the time to dissolve them. By rising above the frequency of the problem, the solution appears automatically. This is the difference between fighting the darkness with a stick and simply turning on the light. When you turn on the light of prosperity consciousness in those first 33 minutes, the darkness of poverty simply ceases to exist. It has nowhere to stand. You are about to engage in a process that will feel strange at first because you are addicted to your worry. Human beings have a strange addiction to their own suffering because it feels familiar. Waking up and feeling stressed feels normal to you. Waking up and feeling expecting of miracles feels foreign. But you must be willing to be uncomfortable in order to be wealthy. You must be willing to suspend your disbelief and act as if you are already the person you wish to be. This is not deception, this is selection. You are selecting a new timeline. You are choosing to inhabit a reality where your needs are met and your desires are fulfilled. The morning is your genesis. Just as the great creative force brought order out of chaos in the beginning, you bring order to the chaos of your life every single morning. If you do not consciously bring order, entropy takes over, and your life drifts into disorder. The drift is the enemy. Drifting is waking up and letting the day happen to you. Steering is waking up and happening to the day. This protocol is the steering wheel. It places the power back in your hands. It reminds you that you are not a victim of the economy, your boss, or your bank account. You are a creative center, and your life is proceeding from the inside out, not the outside in. As we move deeper into this practice, you need to understand that this is a cumulative effect. One morning of right thinking is powerful, but a lifetime of right mornings is invincible. You are building a new neural highway in your brain. At first, it will look like a dirt path, and your mind will want to jump back to the paved highway of worry. But every time you gently guide your attention back to abundance during these 33 minutes, you are widening the path. Eventually, this path of prosperity becomes the paved highway, and the old road of lack becomes overgrown and forgotten. This is when the miracles happen. This is when you find money on the street, receive unexpected checks, and get promoted without applying. It seems like magic to the uninitiated, but to you, it will be the logical result of the law you have applied. You are standing at the precipice of a new life. The old version of you, the one that wakes up in fear, is dying. The new version of you, the one that commands the morning, is being born right now. Do not underestimate the power of this shift. It is the small hinge that swings the big door. By mastering these minutes, you master the day. By mastering the day, you master your life. You are clearing the channel for the divine design to flow through you. The blocked energy of your financial anxiety is about to be released and transmuted into power. Prepare yourself, for we are now moving from the philosophy of the awakening into the mechanics of exactly how to operate the machinery of your own mind. This is not just poetic language. This is the manual for your existence that you were never given. We are now ready to engage the gears of the universe. Now that you have awakened to the critical importance of the first 33 minutes, we must open the hood of the vehicle you are driving. You would never attempt to fly an airplane without understanding the controls, yet most people attempt to navigate the complex turbulence of life without understanding the three distinct departments of their own mind. To execute this morning protocol effectively, you must understand the machinery you are handling, because ignorance of the law excuses no one. You are not a single mind, but a trinity of functions working together in a delicate hierarchy. These three departments are the subconscious, the conscious, and the superconscious. Understanding how they interact is the difference between a life of accidental struggle and a life of deliberate design. Let us begin with the subconscious. The subconscious mind is simply power without direction. It is like steam or electricity, and it will do exactly what it is directed to do with zero judgment. It has no sense of humor, and it cannot tell the difference between a reality and a vivid imagination. If you watch a frightening movie, your heart races and your palms sweat because your subconscious believes you are in danger. It acts on the data you feed it. Think of your subconscious as the engine room of a massive ship. The engineers down in the deep belly of the ship do not know where the ship is going. They cannot see the ocean. They only follow the orders sent down from the bridge. If the order comes down to go full speed ahead into an iceberg, the engineers will execute that order efficiently and the ship will sink. Your subconscious is that faithful, blind engineer. For years, you have been sending orders of lack, fear, and limitation down to the engine room, and it has faithfully steered your life into financial obstacles. It is not punishing you, it is serving you based on the corrupted orders it received. Standing on the bridge of the ship is the conscious mind. This is the mind you are using to listen to me right now. It is the reasoning mind, the intellect, the captain. The problem is that for most people, the captain is intoxicated with fear. The conscious mind sees life exactly as it appears. It looks at your bank account and sees a low number. It looks at the economy and sees inflation. It looks at your past failures and sees a pattern. Because it sees these things, it impresses them upon the subconscious. The conscious mind screams, "We are broke," and the subconscious engine room says, "Understood, engaging poverty protocols." The objective of our morning practice is to bypass the panic of the conscious mind so we can slip a new set of instructions directly to the subconscious. We are going to relieve the panicked captain of duty for 33 minutes and let the divine design take the wheel. Then there is the third department, the superconscious mind. This is the realm of perfect ideas. This is the God mind within each man and woman. Within the superconscious, there is a perfect pattern for your life. It is a divine design that includes health, wealth, love, and perfect self-expression. It is the realm where the impossible becomes possible. When you get a sudden flash of inspiration, a hunch to go somewhere, or a brilliant idea for a business, that is the superconscious flashing across your mind. The goal of the game of life is to clear the subconscious of its fear-based programming so that the perfect ideas of the superconscious can flow through you without obstruction. When the connection is clear, you do not have to struggle for money. You become a channel through which value and prosperity flow. Before we can begin the programming, we must establish a covenant of action. We must move from being passive listeners to active participants. In the ancient laws of exchange, one must be open to receive. I am inviting you now to perform a small physical act that symbolizes your commitment to this new way of living. If you are ready to stop fighting the old battles and start receiving the new supply, click the subscribe button on this channel now. Do not view this merely as a digital interaction, but as a signal to your own psyche. By joining this community, you are telling your subconscious that you are aligning yourself with a source of daily wisdom. You are planting your flag in the soil of abundance. You are saying, I am no longer a wanderer, I am a student of the law. Engage the notification bell as a reminder that your education has begun. This small act of will breaks the paralysis of inaction. Now we must prepare the soil. You cannot plant fresh seeds in a bed of concrete, and you cannot plant prosperity in a mind that is tight with anxiety. The very first step of the mechanics is the physiological reset. When you wake up worried, your body is in a state of contraction. Your breath is shallow, which signals to your brain that you are under attack. We must flip the switch from the sympathetic nervous system, which is fight or flight, to the parasympathetic nervous system, which is rest and receive. We do this through the breath. The breath is the bridge between the invisible spirit and the visible body. In the protocol, we take 3 deep, deliberate breaths. The first breath is an act of deletion. You exhale the past. The past is a dead vibration. The failures of yesterday, the arguments of last week, the financial mistakes of last year, they do not exist in this moment unless you drag them here. Breathe them out. The second breath is an act of trust. You release the future. The future is a hallucination of the mind. You cannot live there. Worrying about next month's rent prevents you from finding the money for it today. Breathe it out. The third breath is an act of arrival. You arrive in the eternal now. The now is the only place where power exists. You cannot manifest money in the past or the future. You can only manifest it in the now. By breathing consciously, you stop the spinning wheel of your mind and create a silent space where the new programming can take root. This brings us to the most difficult but essential mechanic of all, the law of non-resistance. This is the stumbling block for the intellectual mind. When you wake up and a negative thought attacks you, perhaps a thought about a debt you owe, your instinct is to fight it. You wrestle with the thought. You argue with it. You play out imaginary arguments in your head. But the spiritual mechanics tell us that what you resist persists. By fighting the negative thought, you are feeding it your attention, which is your life force. You are making the monster real. You cannot win a boxing match with your own shadow. The harder you punch, the more exhausted you become, while the shadow remains untouched. In this protocol, we practice the art of standing aside. When a thought of lack comes, we do not fight it. We simply observe it as an old piece of data, a glitch in the system that is being corrected. We do not get emotionally involved with the glitch. We replace it. We practice the mechanic of substitution. You cannot focus on 2 things at once. You cannot think of God and lack at the same time. You cannot think of wealth and debt at the same time. So, instead of trying to push the debt thought out, you simply bring the wealth thought in. Light does not fight darkness. You never see light wrestling with darkness in a room. When the light is turned on, the darkness simply ceases to exist. It vanishes because it was never a thing in itself. It was only the absence of the thing. Poverty is not a real thing. Poverty is only the absence of prosperity consciousness. Fear is not a real thing. Fear is only the absence of faith. We are not here to fix your poverty because your poverty is an illusion created by your thinking. We are here to introduce the light of truth. Once the truth of abundance is introduced into the subconscious, the illusion of lack must disappear. It is law. If you follow this mechanic, if you stop fighting the old reality and start building the new one, the external world will have no choice but to reshape itself around your new energy. The mechanics are sound. The machine of your mind is ready. The engine room is waiting for a new command. We are now ready to step into the captain's chair and issue the 7 commands that will steer your ship out of the stormy waters of lack and into the harbor of infinite supply. We have now arrived at the threshold of transformation. We have awakened your spirit and we have understood the mechanics of the 3 minds. Now we must put your hand upon the lever that shifts the gears of reality. You are about to engage in the 7 commands protocol. Understand that this is not poetry and this is not wishful thinking. These are specific vibrational keys designed to unlock the combination lock of your subconscious mind. Each command addresses a specific blockage that keeps humanity trapped in lack, fear, burden, blindness, rigidity, limitation, ingratitude, and confusion. By the time we finish these 7 steps, you will have dismantled the house of poverty and laid the foundation for a mansion of prosperity. You may listen to these words while lying in bed, hovering between sleep and wakefulness, or you may speak them as you move through the quiet rituals of your morning. The most important factor is not your posture but your intention. You must speak or think these words with the authority of a king or queen issuing a decree. You are not begging the universe for a favor. You are commanding your own subconscious to align with the divine law that is already in operation. The universe is waiting for your definite lead. Command number 1. The declaration of identity. The first error most people make is a geographic error of the mind. You wake up and you mentally locate yourself in the world of man. In this world, there is inflation, there is competition, there is recession, and there are not enough jobs. If you identify with this world the moment you wake up, you are subject to its laws of limitation. We must immediately shift your residence. We must declare that you are a citizen of a different kingdom, where supply is infinite. Focus your attention on the center of your chest, the seat of your heart, and repeat this command with me. I am awake in God's world, and God's world is a world of plenty. I am an irresistible magnet for all that belongs to me by divine right. Repeat this. I am awake in God's world, and God's world is a world of plenty. I am an irresistible magnet for all that belongs to me by divine right. Once more, with feeling, I am awake in God's world, and God's world is a world of plenty. I am an irresistible magnet for all that belongs to me by divine right. Let us analyze what you have just done. By stating you are in God's world, you have stepped out of the statistical probability of failure. In the divine economy, there is no such thing as a shortage. A flower does not worry about the recession. It blooms because it is supplied by the earth. You are now claiming that same, natural, effortless support. When you say you are an irresistible magnet, you are defining your nature. A magnet does not work hard to attract steel. The steel is drawn to it by the nature of what it is. You are commanding your subconscious to stop chasing money and to start attracting it. You are reversing the flow of energy from seeking to receiving. Feel the relief of that. You do not have to hunt for your good. Your good is hunting for you. Command number 2, casting the burden. Now that we have established where you live, we must address what you are carrying. Most of you wake up carrying a backpack filled with stones. These stones are your debts, your deadlines, your conflicts, and your fears about the future. You cannot fly with this weight. You cannot move forward when you are paralyzed by the pressure of how you will solve your problems. The human mind is not designed to carry the burden of the how. When you try to figure out exactly how you will pay a debt when you have no money, you are trying to do God's work with a human instrument. It will break you. We are going to use the greatest law of mental hygiene known to man, the law of casting the burden. We are going to take the weight of your financial worry and hand it over to the superconscious mind, the Christ within, which is the only power capable of solving it. Visualize the problem that is stressing you the most right now. See it as a heavy package in your hands. Now, speak this command. I cast this burden of financial fear on the Christ within, and I go free to be loving, harmonious, and happy. Say it again. I cast this burden of financial fear on the Christ within, and I go free to be loving, harmonious, and happy. A third time, and as you say it, physically feel the weight leaving your shoulders. I cast this burden of financial fear on the Christ within, and I go free to be loving, harmonious, and happy. This is a transaction. You have given the problem to the infinite intelligence. If you continue to worry about it, you have taken the package back. If you take the package back, God cannot work on it. You must leave it there. Stand aside and let the divine design work through the situation. You go free. Your only job now is to remain harmonious and happy, because a happy mind is a clear channel. A worried mind is a clogged pipe. By casting the burden, you have unclogged the pipe so that the solution can flow through. You may not see the money yet, but the spiritual engineering has begun the moment you release the weight. Command number 3. The secret door to success. We have lightened the load. Now we must look for the opening. Many of you feel trapped. You feel you are in a room with no doors. You look at your job and see a dead end. You look at your bank account and see a wall. But this is an optical illusion of the conscious mind. In the realm of the superconscious, there is always a way out. There is always a secret door. The problem is that you have been staring at the wall of lack for so long that you have become blind to the door of opportunity. We must command the door to reveal itself. We are not asking for a trickle of support. We are going to use a very specific word, avalanche. We use this word because we want to break the consciousness of just enough. We want to shatter the idea that you can only earn a little bit at a time. We want to open the floodgates. Speak this command with authority. Infinite Spirit, open the way for my immediate supply. Let all that is mine by divine right reach me in great avalanches of abundance. Repeat it. Infinite Spirit, open the way for my immediate supply. Let all that is mine by divine right reach me in great avalanches of abundance. Again, seeing the walls dissolve. Infinite Spirit, open the way for my immediate supply. Let all that is mine by divine right reach me in great avalanches of abundance. When you speak these words, you are telling your reticular activating system in your brain to scan your environment for opportunities you missed yesterday. The money you need is likely right in front of you, disguised as a connection you haven't made, an idea you haven't acted on, or a resource you haven't utilized. By commanding the way to open, you are removing the blinders from your eyes. You are giving the universe permission to rush in. Note that we say immediate supply. We are not waiting for next year. We are demanding the manifestation of good in the now. We are aligning with the speed of spirit. Command number 4, the law of surprise. This is where we dismantle your rigidity. One of the biggest blocks to wealth is that you think you know how the money comes. You think it comes from your salary, your clients, or your sales. By defining the channel, you close off every other channel. You tell the universe, you can only help me through this one tiny pipe. But God is not limited to your paycheck. The infinite has millions of ways to reach you. It can come as a refund, a gift, an inheritance, a debt forgiveness, or a sudden rise in value of something you own. To become wealthy, you must become comfortable with the unexpected. You must invite the element of magic back into your life. We are going to command the law of surprise to operate. Say this with a sense of excitement, like a child waiting for a gift. My supply is endless, inexhaustible, and immediate. I receive unexpected checks, unexpected gifts, and unexpected opportunities today. Repeat it. My supply is endless, inexhaustible, and immediate. I receive unexpected checks, unexpected gifts, and unexpected opportunities today. One more time. My supply is endless, inexhaustible, and immediate. I receive unexpected checks, unexpected gifts, and unexpected opportunities today. Do not underestimate the power of the word unexpected. By using it, you release your attachment to the how. You stop staring at your boss or your customers, demanding they pay you more. You turn your face to the universal supply. You are creating a vacuum that the universe must fill. You will be amazed at how often, after using this affirmation, money appears from a source you had completely forgotten or never considered. You are training your mind to be a receiver of miracles, not just a wage earner. Command number 5, dissolving obstacles. Even with the door open, you may feel there are enemies in your path. These enemies might be a difficult person, a bureaucratic rule, a bad credit score, or your own self-doubt. In the spiritual world, there are no real obstacles. There are only shadows. An obstacle is simply a crystallized thought of fear. When you change the thought, the crystal shatters. We are going to perform a mental alchemy. We are going to transmute every enemy into a friend and every stumbling block into a stepping stone. We declare that nothing can stand between you and your God-given success. Speak this command with the fierceness of a warrior. Every obstacle is now dissolved. Every enemy is made a friend. Every closed door is unbarred. The path of gold is clear before me. Repeat it. Every obstacle is now dissolved. Every enemy is made a friend. Every closed door is unbarred. The path of gold is clear before me. Again. Every obstacle is now dissolved. Every enemy is made a friend. Every closed door is unbarred. The path of gold is clear before me. Think about a specific obstacle you are facing. Perhaps it is a person who is blocking your progress. When you say, every enemy is made a friend, you are changing the energy between you and that person. You are sending them love and harmony on the invisible plane. Often, after this affirmation, that difficult person will suddenly become helpful, or they will simply be removed from your experience. You are declaring that the path of gold is clear. A path of gold is a path of high vibration. Low vibration problems cannot exist on a high vibration path. You are literally rising above the altitude where the problems exist. Command number 6. Gratitude before manifestation. Now we come to the ultimate test of faith. Can you say thank you before the money is in your hand? Most people wait to see the money before they feel grateful. This is backwards. In the quantum field, gratitude is the bridge that draws the future into the present. When you are grateful, you are signaling that it is already done. You are collapsing the timeline. If you ordered a meal at a fine restaurant, you would not sit at the table worrying if the chef is cooking it. You would relax and prepare your utensils, knowing it is coming. That expectation is faith. We must treat our request for abundance with the same certainty. We are going to give thanks for the money that is currently on its way to us. Feel the emotion of relief and joy as you say this. I give thanks that the walls of lack have crumbled. I give thanks that my financial freedom is established now. It is done. Repeat it. I give thanks that the walls of lack have crumbled. I give thanks that my financial freedom is established now. It is done. Once more, with absolute conviction. I give thanks that the walls of lack have crumbled. I give thanks that my financial freedom is established now. It is done. It is done. These are the words of completion. You are not hoping. You are not wishing. You are acknowledging a fact. The walls of lack exist only in your mind, and you have just declared them crumbled. By giving thanks, you seal the deal. You stop the desperate energy of wanting and move into the magnetic energy of having. The universe responds to having by giving you more. It responds to wanting by keeping you in a state of want. Gratitude is the key that turns the engine from wanting to having. Command number 7. The Master Affirmation. We arrive now at the final seal. This is the capstone of our morning pyramid. We must remind ourselves of the ultimate truth, that you are not separate from the source of all wealth. You are a wave in the ocean of God. The ocean cannot be poor. Therefore, the wave cannot be poor if it knows what it is. We are calling upon the divine design. There is a perfect picture of your life in the superconscious mind. In that picture, you are doing work you love, you are paid magnificently, and you are living in perfect health. We are commanding that picture to flash into your conscious reality. Repeat this master affirmation. I am one with infinite intelligence. I know what I should know. I do what I should do. I have what I should have. My life is a masterpiece of divine design. Repeat it. I am one with infinite intelligence. I know what I should know. I do what I should do. I have what I should have. My life is a masterpiece of divine design. One final time, let it sink into your bones. I am one with infinite intelligence. I know what I should know. I do what I should do. I have what I should have. My life is a masterpiece of divine design. I have what I should have. Do you hear the power in that? It means if you have a desire for wealth, it is because you should have it. It is part of your design. Your poverty serves no one. Your misery does not help the world. Your prosperity empowers you to be a giver, a creator, and a force for good. By aligning with the divine design, you stop struggling for money and start fulfilling your destiny. The money becomes merely the fuel for your higher purpose. The integration now, lie still or stand still for a moment. Let the echoes of these 7 commands settle in the air around you. You have just performed a major operation on your soul. You have reset the coordinates of your destiny for this day. You might feel a physical sensation, a tingling, a lightness, or a sense of warmth. This is the energy moving, or you might feel nothing at all, which is also fine. The seed grows in the dark underground before the sprout breaks the surface. Trust the process. Understand that for the next 12 to 16 hours, you have successfully programmed your subconscious to look for wealth. You have put on a pair of glasses that filter out lack and amplify opportunity. As you go about your day, you may notice thoughts of worry trying to creep back in. This is normal. It is the momentum of the old habit. When this happens, do not fight them. Simply gently remind yourself, "No, I have canceled that order. I am now operating under the 7 commands." Return to command number 4. My supply is endless. Use these commands as your shield and your sword throughout the day. If a bill arrives, say, "Infinite Spirit, open the way." If a client cancels, say, "I receive unexpected opportunities." You have the tools now. You are no longer defenseless. You have spent these 30 minutes wisely. You have invested in the most valuable asset you possess, your own consciousness. The world tries to tell you that power lies in the economy, in politics, or in the hands of others. But you have seen the truth today. Power lies in the Word. Power lies in the first 33 minutes. Power lies in you. We have built the engine. We have fueled the tank. Now, we must look at the evidence that proves this machine actually runs. We must look at the science and the stories that confirm that what you have just done is not merely a ritual, but a scientific application of spiritual law that has worked for thousands before you and is working for you right now. Let us turn our eyes to the proof. Before we examine the scientific proof, I want to pause for a brief moment. You have just received the 7 commands, the very keys to the kingdom of abundance. If you feel a shift in your energy, if these words resonate with your soul, I invite you to support this channel. By liking this video and subscribing, you are not just helping us, you are affirming to the algorithm of your own life that you value wisdom. Click the subscribe button now to join our community of conscious creators. Let this be your signal that you are ready for the next level. Now, let us look at the undeniable proof. You have now learned the philosophy of the awakening, and you have been given the 7 keys of the protocol. But there is a voice inside you that may still be whispering doubts. This is the voice of your logical, conscious mind. It asks perfectly reasonable questions. It asks if mere words can truly change the hardness of a bank account balance. It asks if a 33-minute ritual can truly undo years of struggle. These questions are not enemies. They are the demand for evidence. And evidence is exactly what we must now examine. We must understand that what we call miracles are not violations of natural law. They are simply the fulfillment of laws that most people do not yet understand. When you learn the laws of aerodynamics, flight is no longer a miracle, it is a mechanic. When you learn the laws of the mind, wealth is no longer a miracle, it is a result. To understand this fully, we must look at a life that was exactly like yours, a life of quiet desperation that was transformed not by winning the lottery, but by working the law. Let us speak of Sarah. Sarah is not a parable from ancient times, she is a reflection of the modern condition. She was 54 years old and had been working in the same administrative position for 17 years. Her life was a portrait of stagnation. She sat at the same desk, drove the same route, and earned a salary that had barely moved in a decade while the cost of living skyrocketed around her. She was not destitute, but she was trapped in the suffocating gray zone of just enough. Every month was a juggling act. If the car broke down, the credit card balance went up. If the rent increased, the grocery budget decreased. She lived with a low-level hum of anxiety that never went away. She woke up every morning with a feeling of heaviness in her chest. a physical symptom of the spiritual burden she was carrying. Her subconscious mind had been programmed with a very specific belief. It is too late for me. I am too old to start over. This is all there is. This belief was the architect of her reality. It built walls around her opportunities and ceilings over her income. Then, Sarah stumbled upon the principle of the morning window. She was skeptical. Her logical mind told her that sitting in bed and talking to herself was a waste of time. It told her she should be checking job boards or driving for a rideshare service to make extra money. But she was desperate enough to try something new. She committed to the 33-minute protocol you have just learned. The first 3 days were a battle. This is important for you to know. When she woke up and said, "I am an irresistible magnet for abundance," her mind screamed back, "No, you are not. You are in debt." When she said, "My supply is unexpected and immediate," her logic argued, "You have a fixed salary. There is no other supply." This is the friction of the old paradigm fighting for its survival. But Sarah understood the law of non-resistance. She did not fight the voice. She just kept playing the new record. She persisted. By day 5, something subtle shifted. The heaviness in her chest began to lighten. She didn't have more money yet, but she had more peace. She stopped reacting to the stress of her office with her usual fear. She began to walk with a different posture. She was vibrating at a slightly higher frequency. She was tuning her instrument. On day 7, the universe moved. The shift didn't happen in a way she could have predicted. She was called into her manager's office. Her stomach dropped. Her old programming immediately assumed she was in trouble. But the manager didn't want to fire her. He told her that the company was creating a new liaison role to handle a major client account, a role that required patience, deep institutional knowledge, and trust qualities Sarah had demonstrated for 17 years but had never been valued for. They didn't post the job online. They didn't interview external candidates. The opportunity had been sitting there, invisible, waiting for her to match its frequency. She took the role. It came with a 40% increase in salary and a performance bonus structure. In one 20-minute meeting, her financial reality was completely rewritten. But here is the crucial part of Sarah's testimony. She told me later that the strangest thing wasn't the money. The strangest thing was that she didn't feel surprised. When the offer came, she felt a sense of calm recognition. It felt like she was simply stepping into the shoes she had already been wearing in her mind for 7 days. She had already become the woman who deserved that wealth during her morning 33 minutes, so when the physical wealth arrived, it was just a natural fit. This is the spiritual evidence. But now we must layer this with the scientific evidence because truth is consistent across all fields. You do not need to rely on blind faith. You can rely on biology. What happened to Sarah's brain is a process known as neuroplasticity. For decades, science believed that the adult brain was fixed, that once you reached a certain age, your neural pathways were set in stone. We now know this is false. The brain is soft, malleable, and constantly rewiring itself based on input. Think of your brain as a dense forest. If you walk the same path through the forest every single day, that path becomes wide, clear, and easy to travel. This is your habit. If you wake up every morning and think I am worried about money, you are walking a wide paved highway of anxiety in your brain. Your neurons fire along that path effortlessly because they have done it thousands of times. It requires zero energy to be worried because it is your default neurological setting. When you begin this 33-minute protocol, you are choosing to grab a machete and hack a new path through the dense underbrush. You are forcing your neurons to fire in a new sequence. You are connecting the concept of me with the concept of wealth. At first, this is difficult. It feels unnatural. The brush is thick. Your brain wants to go back to the easy highway of fear. This is why Sarah struggled for the first few days. But every morning that you persist, the new path gets clearer. The neurons begin to wire together. I and wealth become physically connected in your gray matter. Eventually, The new path becomes the highway, and the old path of fear, through lack of use, becomes overgrown and disappears. This is not just a metaphor, this is physical tissue change in your skull. Furthermore, we must discuss the reticular activating system, or the RAS. This is a bundle of nerves at your brainstem that acts as the bouncer of your consciousness. Your senses are bombarded with millions of bits of data every second. If your conscious mind perceived everything, every sound, every color, every sensation, you would go insane. So, the RAS filters the data. It decides what gets through to your awareness and what gets ignored. But how does the RAS know what to let through? It operates based on what you deem important. And how does it know what is important? It listens to what you focus on. If you focus on problems, your RAS will filter out solutions and only let you see more problems to validate your worldview. If you believe there are no good jobs, your RAS will literally blind you to a help-wanted sign you walk past every day. You will not see it. It will be invisible to you. When Sarah started her morning protocol, she was reprogramming her RAS. She was giving the bouncer a new set of instructions. She was saying, focus on abundance. Focus on opportunity. Focus on unexpected gifts. Suddenly, her RAS began to scan her environment for anything that matched that description. The opportunity for the promotion had likely been brewing in her office for weeks, but the old Sarah was vibrationally blind to it. The new Sarah, tuned by the morning protocol, was able to perceive the opening and step into it. You are not just changing your mind. You are changing your filtration system of reality. We must also touch upon the physics of this process. Everything in the universe, from the stars to the money in your pocket, is made of energy. Quantum physics tells us that at the subatomic level, matter is not solid. It is vibrating energy. And energy operates by the law of resonance. Two tuning forks of the same frequency will vibrate together even if they are not touching. If you strike one, the other sings. This is the law. For years, you may have been vibrating at the frequency of need. The frequency of need is a signal of lack. It says, I do not have. By universal law, you cannot attract having while you are broadcasting needing. They are different frequencies. You cannot listen to a classical music station while your radio is tuned to a rock station. It is a physical impossibility. The 33-minute protocol is not about begging God to change the station for you. It is about you reaching out with your own will and turning the dial. When you spend 33 minutes immersed in the feeling of the 7 commands, you are physically shifting the vibration of your electromagnetic field. You are moving from the frequency of I need money to the frequency of I am money. You are moving from I hope to I have. When you hold that frequency, the external world, which is just a mirror of your internal state, has no choice but to reflect it back to you. The unexpected check, the new client, the brilliant idea, these are not random luck. These are the physical coalescing of the energy you generated in the morning. Consider the placebo effect. In medical science, we know that if you give a patient a sugar pill but tell them it is a powerful medicine, a significant percentage of them will heal. Their body produces real chemicals to heal the illness based solely on their belief. If the mind can synthesize chemicals to heal a physical disease, do you not think it can synthesize the circumstances to heal a financial disease? Your subconscious mind is the greatest pharmacy and the greatest factory in existence. It can produce health and it can produce wealth, but it requires the prescription. The morning protocol is the prescription. You do not need to understand every detail of how electricity works to turn on a light switch. You simply need to know that the switch exists and that you have the power to flip it. Sarah did not know about the reticular activating system. She did not know about quantum resonance. She simply knew that she was tired of the dark and she was ready to flip the switch. And because the law is neutral, because the law respects no persons, it worked for her exactly as it will work for you. The skeptic asks for proof before he will believe. The master knows that he must believe before he will see the proof. This is the paradox of the game of life. You must walk into the darkness with your lantern held high, trusting that the light will reveal the path as you step. You have seen the evidence of the life of Sarah. You have heard the evidence of the biology of the brain. You have understood the evidence of the physics of energy. The court of your mind has received the exhibits. The verdict is now up to you. Will you continue to argue for your limitations? Will you continue to defend your right to be worried? Or will you accept the scientific and spiritual truth that you are a creative center, capable of rewriting your script every time the sun rises? The 33 minutes are going to pass anyway. You can spend them reinforcing the old neural pathways of struggle, digging the trench deeper, making it harder to climb out. Or you can spend them building the bridge to the life you were designed to live. The proof you are looking for is not in this video. The proof is sleeping inside you, waiting for the command to wake up. You are the scientist, and your life is the laboratory. The experiment begins tomorrow morning. There is no failure in this experiment. Only feedback. If you do not see results immediately, it does not mean the law is broken. It means the old momentum is strong and requires more consistent application of the counterforce. Persistence is the heat that melts the wax of the old reality. You are standing on solid ground. This is not magic. This is mastery. The mechanics of the universe are impartial. Gravity pulls the sinner and the saint to the ground with equal force. The law of attraction draws abundance to the believer and lack to the doubter with equal precision. You have been using the law unconsciously to create poverty. Now you will use the law consciously to create prosperity. The machine works. The question is, are you ready to operate it? We have arrived at the final and perhaps the most critical juncture of our journey together. You have mastered the awakening. You have learned the mechanics of the three minds. You have memorized the 7 commands, and you have examined the undeniable evidence of the law. You might believe that your education is now complete and that you are ready to turn off this video and go about your life. But I must warn you with the utmost seriousness that if you stop here, you are leaving the building with only half of the blueprint. You are attempting to build a bridge that only reaches halfway across the river. To rely solely on the morning protocol while ignoring the nocturnal side of your existence is a strategic error that has kept millions of people in a cycle of frustration. We must now address the missing half of the equation because the game of life is played 24 hours a day, not just when your eyes are open. Consider the metaphor of a master builder constructing a magnificent castle. All day long, under the light of the sun, he lays bricks with precision and care. This is you doing your morning affirmations. You build the walls of prosperity. You lay the foundation of faith. You work diligently for 33 minutes to construct a consciousness of wealth. But imagine if, when the sun goes down and the builder goes to sleep, he leaves the gates of the castle wide open. Imagine if he allows vandals and thieves to enter the construction site in the dark. By the time he wakes up the next morning, half of his work has been destroyed. He has to spend the first hours of the new day repairing the damage from the night before rather than building new heights. This is exactly what you are doing if you do not master the night protocol. You are building a castle in the day and allowing your doubts to tear it down at night. The subconscious mind never sleeps. This is the biological and spiritual truth that you must burn into your awareness. When your conscious mind, the captain, goes offline and drifts into the delta waves of deep sleep, the engine room of the subconscious does not shut down. In fact, it becomes hyperactive. It spends 8 hours processing, sorting, and filing the dominant impressions of the day. It takes the strongest feeling you had before you lost consciousness, and it marinates in that feeling for 8 solid hours. If the last thing you do before you sleep is worry about a bill, argue with your spouse, or scroll through the bad news of the world on your phone, you are handing the engine room a blueprint of disaster. You are essentially telling your subconscious, here is the plan for tomorrow: more anxiety, more conflict, more lack. And while you sleep, your mind dutifully weaves that misery into the fabric of your next day. This explains the phenomenon of the morning dread. Have you ever gone to bed feeling okay, only to wake up feeling exhausted and heavy, as if you had been working all night? It is because you have been working all night. You have been working against yourself. You have been running a marathon of worry in your sleep because you did not clear the mechanism before you closed your eyes. We are going to stop this self-sabotage tonight. We are going to institute a night protocol that acts as the perfect bookend to your morning protocol. By controlling the bookends, the first 33 minutes and the last 30 minutes, you control the entire shelf of books that is your life. You create a container of high vibration that the chaos of the world cannot penetrate. The night protocol consists of two distinct phases, the clearing and the programming. The first phase, the clearing, is non-negotiable. You cannot pour fresh, clean water into a glass that is filled with mud. You must wash the glass first. During the course of your day, no matter how positive you are, you will pick up debris, you will encounter rude people, you will face disappointments, you will have moments of doubt. This is the dust of the world. If you go to sleep with this dust on your soul, it hardens into cement by morning. You must wash it off. We do this through the law of forgiveness. Forgiveness is not a moral sentiment here. It is a selfish act of financial hygiene. Resentment is the most expensive emotion a human being can hold. It eats up the substance of your body, and it eats up the substance of your bank account. You cannot be connected to the flow of God's abundance while you are mentally replaying an argument with your coworker. The two frequencies cannot coexist. Therefore, every night, as you lay your head on the pillow, you must perform a mental sweep. Review the day. Look at the faces of anyone who annoyed you, hurt you, or frightened you. And then, consciously and deliberately, cut the cord. Say to your subconscious, I call on the law of forgiveness. I am free from mistakes and the consequences of mistakes. I forgive everyone and everyone forgives me. The burden is dissolved. Feel the release. You are not saying what they did was right. You are saying you refuse to carry the poison of it into your sleep. You are protecting your asset. You are clearing the decks so that your ship can sail light and fast. By doing this, you ensure that your sleep is a time of regeneration, not a time of degeneration. You wake up lighter because you did not carry yesterday's trash into today's sunrise. Once the glass is clean, we move to the second phase. The programming. This is where we leverage the power of technology to accelerate your results. Since your subconscious is wide open and highly suggestible during sleep, this is the perfect time to feed it a continuous diet of prosperity. Why would you let your mind drift aimlessly in the dark when you could be actively rewriting your neural pathways for 8 hours straight without lifting a finger? This is the ultimate efficiency. This is the night shift for your success. I have created a specific tool to accompany this morning video. It is a dedicated sleep meditation designed to pair perfectly with the morning affirmations you learned today. It utilizes the same language, the same keys, but it is paced for the sleeping mind. It is designed to bypass the critical factor of your logic and whisper the truth of abundance directly into the deep centers of your being. Your conscious mind may not hear a word of it. You may fall asleep in 5 minutes and not hear the rest. That does not matter. The ear of the subconscious is always open. It hears every affirmation and accepts it as a command. Imagine the compounding effect of this. You start the day with 33 minutes of conscious command. You end the day with 8 hours of subconscious programming. You are surrounding your limitations with the truth. You are attacking the poverty mindset from both sides of the veil. The old neural pathways of lack do not stand a chance against this level of consistent, rhythmic bombardment of truth. You are creating an immersion environment. If you want to learn French, the best way is to move to Paris and hear it 24/7. If you want to learn wealth, the best way is to immerse your mind in the language of wealth while you wake and while you sleep. Now we must establish the covenant. Knowledge without action is merely entertainment. You did not click on this video to be entertained. You clicked on it because your soul is demanding a change. You are tired of the struggle. You are tired of the fear. The universe is ready to give you the kingdom, but you must be ready to receive it. To receive requires a vessel, and that vessel is your commitment. I am asking you right now to enter into a 30-day contract with yourself. Not a week. Not, I'll try. But 30 days of absolute, unwavering discipline. Why 30 days? Because biology dictates it. It takes approximately 21 to 30 days for a new neural pathway to become established enough that it becomes the default path. For the first few weeks, you are fighting the gravity of your old habits. It requires effort, but if you cross the 30-day threshold, the magic happens, the effort falls away, the habit takes over. It becomes harder not to do the protocol than to do it. You become a new person with a new automatic operating system. I want you to seal this contract physically right now. Go to the comments section below. Do not just think it, write it. Writing is a physical act of bringing a thought into the material world. It is the first step of manifestation. Write this declaration. I am wide awake to my good. I receive it now. I am wide awake to my good. I receive it now. By writing this, you are planting your flag. You are telling the thousands of other people in this community and the universe itself that you are no longer asleep at the wheel. You are declaring that your eyes are open to the opportunities that have been hiding in plain sight. And here is the secret sauce of the community. After you write your comment, I want you to scroll through and read the declarations of 3 other people. Like their comments. Reply to them. Say yes to their abundance. Why? Because what you bless in another, you confirm in yourself. If you see someone else declaring their wealth and you feel a twinge of envy, you have just blocked your own money. Envy is a declaration that you believe supply is limited. It is a belief that if they have it, there is less for you. This is a lie. The supply is infinite. When you celebrate another person's breakthrough, you are vibrating at the frequency of breakthrough. You are telling the universe, I like this. Give me more of this. This comment section is not just a chat room, it is a vortex of high-frequency energy. Dip your bucket into that well. So here is your complete action plan for the next 30 days. This is your prescription for freedom. First, tomorrow morning, and every morning for the next month, you play the first 33 minutes of this video. You do not skip it. You do not check your phone first. You give the first fruits of your attention to God and your own prosperity. You engage the 7 commands. Second, every night, before you close your eyes, you perform the clearing. You forgive the day, you let go of the burden, you empty the glass. Third, and this is the bridge that connects the days, you click on the sleep meditation video that will appear on your screen in a moment. You put your phone on the nightstand, you press play, and you let the programming run all night long. You let the truth wash over your sleeping mind like a healing river. Fourth, you return to the comments and you document your journey. When the unexpected check comes, and it will, you come back and tell us. When the job offer appears, share it. Your testimony becomes the ladder for someone else to climb. We are building a cathedral of evidence here. Brick by brick, miracle by miracle. You are the writer of your play. Up until now, perhaps you have been writing a tragedy or a dull drama of struggle. You have been dipping your pen in the ink of worry. But today, the ink has been changed. You have been given the gold ink of the superconscious. The page of tomorrow morning is blank. It is pristine. Do not let the scribbles of the past ruin the clean page of the future. You have the power to write a new character, a character who walks with confidence, who expects the best, and who receives avalanches of abundance, not as a lucky accident, but as a divine right. The old you is dead. The victim is dead. The worrier is dead. The new you is wide awake. The master builder has returned to the site. The tools are in your hands. The blueprint is clear. The support is infinite. Do not wait for the right time. The only time is now. The only day is today. The only moment is this one. Click the link for the sleep meditation now. Let the work continue in the sanctuary of your rest. You are blessed, you are prosperous, you are free, and it is done. Your journey has just begun. To fully lock in this programming, you need the full picture. I have created a detailed breakdown of the sleep meditation mentioned earlier, which is the perfect partner to this morning routine. You can find the link to the full 30-day instruction in the pinned comment below, or click the video appearing on your screen now. Do not let this feeling fade. Click the video, subscribe to the channel, and let's continue this transformation together. I will see you there.